Hey there, folks. Welcome into a special edition of Buffa's Buffet. Not really a film buffa, not really sports, not really anything. Probably some Skittles. We're riding the rainbow. But I don't know. I've been kind of compelled to do one of these a day, or try to do one of these a day for everybody, where I just discuss something, or this or that. But let's get into a few things tonight. We're going to let's consider this not really a test, but a semi-test. There's a lighting issue in the bedroom. It looked like there was just the center of the universe are UFOs beaming down on my forehead. And then it's too dark and it's too cold to try to do one with the mount in the truck. And so this offers the least amount of crap, problems. I know this is going to be a vertical shoot. But we'll deal with it. Special edition. We're shaking it up. Nothing stops a voice from being heard. Anyway, I don't specify colors. I just dive right in. We're not going to be like red, orange, like Christopher Walken, watermelon, So, I do like candy. It's Tuesday, or in other words, some people's Thursday. The people that work tomorrow, maybe not. The people that work Friday, I have tomorrow off. Well, kind of. A little Uber, I rarely take a whole day off. It's everything, if Skittles didn't cost so much, okay, they're not really the Skittles. But if things didn't cost so much, I wouldn't have to work a job. I don't want to go out there and drive strangers, but you know what? Kind of is what it is. You know what? We'll kick off this podcast with an Uber tip. Now, I can speak because I have a lot of experience. Maybe combined 3.5, 4 years of driving experience with Uber. And was amazed when I started driving recently and they showed you log back in and your whole profile just comes right back up. You don't start from scratch, obviously, but you see your rating. I've had some 1-star reviews. I promise you, I don't do anything crazy in these Ubers. I drive regular. So many Ubers that I've driven in as a passenger drive like they're evading the law. Not Jude law. They're evading the cops. So I drive regular. I don't talk unless they talk first. I don't really offer up conversation. When I drove from in 2017 to 2020, I kind of did. I'd be like, hey, how you doing? But now it's just like, how you doing? Even if that, I just go, good evening, really in a way, under my breath, get the fuck in, put your seatbelt on and shut up. But a tip from a guy with almost 3,800 rides of moving people around that doesn't include Uber Eats. I did a little bit of Uber Eats. My gosh, you got to turn your car off, turn your car on, or wait in drive-thrus, or wait in this. Uber, people passaging, moving people around, you just get to sit in your car. But a tip from me would be to, please, when the Uber ride is made, when the Uber request from your end is made, be ready to go. Don't make an Uber driver wait because you're killing their earnings. We live and die on time. So if we gotta wait an extra 5 minutes for you to come out, it's just killing the hourly rate. So don't get the Uber until you're really ready because there's a lot out there. The demand is high. I don't know how many other drivers there are, but I imagine there's a shit ton. But a lot of rides come in. I go to a lot of places I don't really want to go because it's just worse roads, darker streets, shittier neighborhoods. But that's an Uber tip. Every podcast might come with an Uber tip until I just run out of shit to say, and then we'll just recycle it and make it sound better the second time, because that's what you do when you have a podcast. You 75% talk out of your ass. But Uber tip, don't make them wait. Get in there. Be ready. Be chatty, but don't be don't start quizzing us. I've had passengers just get in the car and they're like, is this turning into a test? But Uber tip of the day doesn't have a sponsor. Skittles are not a sponsor. I wish they were. Too bad. Another thing tonight is that Isiah Whitlock Jr., who people will know as the guy that coined the phrase, she does that for, that's Isiah Whitlock Jr. In the Wire, in 25th Hour, in Cocaine Bear, where he's trying to shoot a bear from the roof of a cabin. He died at the age of 71. You know, you're sitting there with your dad, who's also 71, and every time I'd say an actor dies, he's like, "Oh, how old?" I go, 71. He's like, "Shit, that's how old I am." But great actor, great voice. Yes, he made that word so funny, but he also just had a voice where you knew it was him. It was a great presence. So rest in peace to him. I am kind of racing the heat, air, whatever. It's the same thing as my air conditioner. The apartment, getting used to this again. But the heat vent is right there. And when that goes, it's going to sound like I'm in a wind tunnel. The experimenting use of a podcast in motion. But yeah, all the actors, man, they're just like us. They come, they go, and then when they're gone, you're kind of like, well, when did I watch them last in? And I watched Isiah Whitlock Jr. last in Cocaine Bear, which is a very underrated comedy. Maybe underrated, maybe underseen, kind of forgotten about. Came out last year or the year before. Worth watching. Bernie Michaels dished it pretty hard about the good St. Louis Blues. Not the good St. Louis Blues, the bad St. Louis Blues. Man, they suck. Again, letting John Kelly go, bad karma. It does happen. Maybe we can't, there's no evidence, but I do think that, things can tilt not in your fashion. The ball rolls funny for everybody in pool, and also when you get a little bad karma your way, bad shit can happen. So the Blues, they suck. They only have more wins than like one team in their whole division, which is bad. And it's almost New Year's in a couple of days, so the season's going to start aging. So maybe the Cardinals aren't going to be as out of the main franchises in town, with the City SC not doing well. And the Blues kind of now languishing, falling, losing a lot. Buffalo Sabres were hot, but they still, they lost. It's a game. You can't just go, well, they're good, we're going to lose. That's not how you do it. So the Cardinals, rebuilding even, are still more the talk of the town right now than the Blues. Maybe I delivered some plumbing to the head coach of the Blues' house this morning. Maybe I didn't. Maybe. I should have delivered some Blantons, the poor guy. What else? This is not 5 things because I haven't kept count, and people will give me shit about that, and they should. And there it is. The heat is on, and that means this podcast is over. 8 minutes, quick, painless. Well, painless on my end. Listen to the rest of them with better sound in the truck, and read some shit on my site. It's so good, My mom loves it. Bernie Michaels loves it. Steve Savard loves it. My dad probably doesn't read it. But anyway, have a good one. It's almost a new year. Man, more Skittles. See ya, folks.